When it comes time to flag content as being reliable or not reliable, do either one of you believe that the government should do that? Is that a solution where the government sets a regulatory scheme that talks about what should be up and what should be down?
I don't believe so. I think that would be very challenging.
Okay. Do you agree with that, Mr. Zuckerberg?
Senator, for certain types of illegal content, I think it may be appropriate for there to be clear rules around that. But outside of clear harms, including things like child exploitation in areas like that, terrorism, I would agree with your sentiment that that's not something that government should be deciding on a piece of content by piece of content basis.
So if we take the government out of the picture, at least in non-criminal areas, should we leave it up to the industry to come up with best business practices in terms of how to moderate content?
I think that's best. I think we need to align around the problem that we're trying to solve. And there are many solutions to solving those problems, but I think we also have to focus our efforts on what is going to have the greatest impact. And we believe that the greatest impact is going to be found in how we deal with algorithms, how we use those algorithms, because they are responsible for showing us what we see or what we don't see. And there needs to be more choice in their use.
Do you agree with that, Mr. Zuckerberg?
Senator, I think that that there is a role for regulation in the process, even if not defining on a piece of content by piece of content basis. And one of the areas that I've advocated for is regulation around transparency that goes beyond just about what the policies are and what the process is, but also goes towards results. And as an example of this, every quarter, Facebook releases a community standards enforcement report. It's basically a transparency report that breaks down each category of potentially harmful content that we track, ranging from terrorism to child exploitation content to incitement of violence to pornography to intellectual property violations.
Yes, if I may, I don't mean to interrupt, but who sets those community standards? How are they set by the company?
Senator, we have a policy team that consults with a number of different stakeholders and outside groups to make sure that we're getting feedback from broad swaths of our community during all the concerns.
Is that publicly known?
Senator, I believe so. And our head of content policy has testified publicly multiple times.
Okay. So when it comes to fact checking, would you give us a list of the people you use to fact check?
Senator, yes. We work with a number of independent organizations that are accredited by the Poynter Institute, and they include Reuters, the Associated Press, Agence France Presse United States, USA Today, factcheck.org, Science Feedback, PolitiFact, Check Your Fact, Lead Stories, and the Dispatch in the United States.
Okay, I think it's important for the public to know who sets community standards, how they're set, who does the fact checking, who you rely upon to do that. I think that would go a long way to people having a better understanding of the decisions you make.